What's up, Keymakers? Today we're going to talk about course creation on Udemy. You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. So, I just have been listening to Funnel Hacker Radio with Dave Woodward, one of the ClickFunnels guys, and he had a guest on, and the guest was talking about how to do course creation correctly and how to use funnel building software to send people to your course on Udemy and the benefits of that. So I wanted to share it with you guys in case you hadn't already heard this. So and I also wanted to mention that, you know, I do not have the time or the ability to exercise or practice each one of these things that I'm going to mention on the podcast. And you know, some of it costs time, some of it costs money, and some of it costs your time to learn the skill set to do some of this stuff, right? But because we can't exercise everything now, I hear a lot of people hating on, well, on this podcast or on this YouTube channel, we actually practice what we talk about. We don't ever share anything that we don't. That's a theory. Instead, we practice every single thing that we share with you guys. And quite honestly, guys, that's not possible. And especially when you're in that employee to entrepreneur phase, you basically have to make a couple of key decisions, right? You have to be able to hear certain techniques and then decide if those are going to be what you use to start generating your first streams of revenue, right? So, I mean, in this short amount of time that I've been sort of back on the hunt for a side hustle, I have picked up a ton of different techniques to earn income, and but at the end of the day, I can only choose one or two of those techniques to enact at a time, right? So I have to start executing on one or two of those techniques, and I can't just go out and say, I want to do that, and 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 I want to do that. And to name a few, you know, you can do Amazon FBA, you can do Amazon itself, you can do Amazon affiliate marketing, you can do CPA marketing on some of the big native ads networks, you can do just affiliate marketing on your own. So you're basically driving traffic to your own list, or you're getting leads to your email list via PPC. So there's so many different things that you can do. You can create your own products, you can create your own courses, you can do coaching, you can so I mean, you can bring people into your business a number of different ways, and you can earn revenue a number of different ways. So, but the only way that we can decide whether or not we are able to do those is we have to hear sort of the techniques and then go and decide for ourselves, is that something I want to act on? And so for me, I've sort of listened to some experts who are already doing it and who are already, I can see demonstrably that they are already earning revenue, and sometimes a lot of revenue off of whatever they're teaching. And I also, one of the things that I consider is time in terms of startup, the startup cost, you know, time in terms of startup and cost in terms of startup. How much is it going to take me to get this off the ground in terms of time, and how much is it going to cost to get it off the ground in terms of time, right? Or in terms of money, right? So yeah, that's sort of all the things that we have to take into account. And sort of the reason why I've taken on the path that I'm currently taking, which is get my face out there, learn to speak better on video and in public a little bit better, is because really that's a technique I've heard called celebrity hacking, right? So you can get people to buy your products better if they trust you based on the status of your personal celebrity. So how much do they trust you? How much are you sharing with them? And it's a lot easier to share a product with somebody when they sort of know you because they've seen you online and on video a lot, instead of just the very first time they see you is when they land on your landing page. So I've sort of gone down the path of trying to raise my celebrity, and we're not talking about acting here, but raise my celebrity just a little bit so that my audience can look into me, look and see some of the work I've done, and also know and understand that I have expertise in certain areas related to technical things like technology and software, and related to marketing, and along those lines, funnel hacking. So that's the path I've taken there. And so that is celebrity hacking, but the thing we're talking about today is course building on Udemy. And this, guys, is another very low-hanging fruit. This does not cost a lot of money in terms of startup. Some of the techniques I've seen in terms of startup cost, like, I've heard low end $1,000, high end I've heard like $10,000 to $13,000 for some of the current ideas that are out there, some of the ones that I just mentioned, in order to do them right. I think a lot of people are really have romanticized the idea of Amazon FBA, but the problem with Amazon FBA is you have to buy lots of inventory on on search engines like Alibaba. So you have to buy tons of inventory, and so how much is that going to cost you? Versus something like working on your celebrity hacking, sort of what I mentioned a second ago. That doesn't cost a lot except for my time, and I'm sort of using a time hack on that, which is when I drive home and I try to share my best ideas with you when I drive home, right? So that doesn't cost a lot of my time. I have to drive anyway. And then there's something like course building, which doesn't cost a lot of money. Maybe in the end it costs some money to drive people to your funnels, but if you put your course on a place like Udemy, then they're doing a lot of the marketing for you already anyways. So that doesn't cost a lot of money. Now, to build a course, yes, it does take some time. To do coaching, it does take some time, but you know, doing something like coaching doesn't cost a lot of money either. So you can build funnels and drive people to a funnel that is a product that you've created, and or a course that you've created, and or maybe coaching services that you've created. So that's that technique in terms of why course building is good. Now let's talk about Udemy specifically. I use a piece of software called ClickFunnels that does my funnel building for me. Some of you, probably a lot of you, have already heard of it, right? And you may or may not be using it, but the case that was made for Udemy made a lot of sense, and I've sort of been like mulling this over in my head. Udemy has some benefits, right? As I already mentioned, they do the marketing for you, and even though you may not be getting you know, I know they marked down the price tremendously. Like, a lot of people will put their course on Udemy for like $197, and then every once in a while Udemy will have a sale. Well, probably not every once in a while. A lot of times they'll have a sale on their courses, and they'll mark them all the way down to like $10, right? So almost you know, 5% of the original price. If your course was $200, if your course is down to $10, that's 5% of the original price. So they market, they put it on extreme markdown, and that encourages a lot of people to buy. And I've seen very quickly people put courses online and easily get, you know, thousands of students. So every once in a while I'll see somebody put a course online and they'll immediately get 7,000 to 8,000 students, especially if it's a course that is really currently hot in the marketplace, right? So the benefit of this is inside of your course. Our whole goal is to build our list so that we can control the traffic. But when you put it on Udemy, people are buying a course on Udemy. That may be traffic that you haven't controlled, right? Or that you don't control. That may still be under Udemy's control. Now, maybe you sent somebody there and that was a user that you sent there that was something that you had the ability to control. But how do you get someone from Udemy onto your list? It's pretty simple. Inside of your course, you just make sure that you give them the ability to go hit one of your landing pages and sign up on your list or get on your Facebook chatbot. And I've seen people also with a Facebook chatbot, they'll basically send people to their private Facebook group. And once you get somebody in your private Facebook group, you get the option to message them, and from there, if you're communicating with them on Messenger, you can literally in an automated fashion, put them on your email list by giving them the option to opt in immediately to your email list, so that you're basically pushing everybody towards your email list, which is traffic that you control, right? That's or I should say traffic that you own. Our goal, I think I said a minute ago, our goal is to get people to traffic that we can that we control, but I said that incorrectly. Our goal is to get people to traffic that we own, right? Now you control it by running ads to it, or putting your brand in certain places online. But unless they're on your email list, even if they're on Facebook Messenger, that doesn't count. If they're on your email list, that's traffic you own, right? You can send an email to them at the drop of a hat and you own the traffic. The reason why you don't own the traffic if it's on Facebook Messenger is because Facebook can remove you as a user out of their system anytime they want. So the goal, guys, has to be to get people into your email list. And so with Udemy, you can get a big amount of exposure, a large amount of exposure by putting a course on Udemy. It doesn't have to be a crazy course. It just has to be one that gets people to buy. And you can send people down your funnel. So here's the way Udemy does it. They will give you 50% of the earnings of the course if they sell the person on buying your course. If, however, you have referred someone to Udemy, you will get 97% of the sale. So a lot of people build up their funnels and then send people to their Udemy course. The end user is paying the same amount regardless. They're going to pay, you know, if you're getting them to the page where you've given them a coupon and they purchase for $9.97, and that's what Udemy has them purchasing for anyways, then in the end they're paying the same. So why not get more of that? And you can do that with your own funnels, right? So there's a place for funnels with Udemy courses, and the whole goal though is to get students into your funnel and onto your list where you own the traffic. And from that point, you can market to them at any point in the future. And so yeah, Udemy is a legitimate strategy, especially if you don't have a list and you're trying to build a list. Maybe even if you do have a list, you can send people into one of your funnels and over to Udemy after that. But the funnel building software that I use allows you to put a course together. So there's, I'm thinking there's a place for Udemy courses, especially if it's bottom of the value ladder courses, and for higher ticket, mid to high tier value ladder courses, then you send them through your funnel building software. In my case, it's ClickFunnels. So that way I could charge, you know, $297, $497, $997, $1997, and I'm talking about $497, $997, $1,997, or maybe even $2,997. And after that, I would change the environment maybe to like a phone call and do high ticket selling at that point. But that's for another day. And So yeah, Udemy has its place. Build your list using Udemy, and in your course that you build, make sure you have make sure your course material is good, and make sure you have people, you give people the option to get onto your private Facebook group, and from there you are able to literally to get them into your list with chatbots. And of course your chatbots should be personal, yada yada yada, you guys know that. Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or if anything didn't make any sense. As I always say at the end with the podcast outro, you know, you could join me in my private Facebook group, and this is on YouTube. So if you want to leave a comment for this podcast episode, go to YouTube, drop a comment in there, and so yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully that was helpful, Udemy, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.